Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Was that enough holy shits for you? I just watched one of the best playoff games ever. Flat out. One of the best playoff games I have ever seen. Now, obviously, it doesn't top Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, for obvious reasons. Let me think. Oh yeah, because my favorite team in all of sports, without a doubt, the Cleveland Cavaliers, were able to, what am I looking for? What's the word? Oh yeah, capture an NBA championship after being down 3-1 in the series. Thanks, Draymond Green. But OMG. The Toronto Raptors keep their season alive with a double overtime victory in Game 6, 125 to 122. Let me say that again. In double overtime, the Toronto Raptors win Game 6 and force a Game 7 thanks to a 125 to a 122 victory. Oh my God. If Boston had won, they would have advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on the Miami Heat. Yeah, that's right. The Miami Heat, not the Milwaukee Bucks. Because Miami pretty much dismantled Milwaukee. Although, not really in the last two games, which could partially because Milwaukee didn't have Giannis out on the floor due to an ankle injury that he sustained in Game 4, which Miami should have taken advantage of that and swept the Bucks right out of town. But Chris Middleton said, no, no, no. I didn't want to do my Dikembe Mutombo impression there because, let's face it, Chris Middleton, not on the level of Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo's here, Middleton's here. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, Chris Middleton saved Milwaukee's ass in Game 4. Flat out. And Miami did not look good in Game 5. I was not impressed. I really wasn't. But, oh my God. Am I rooting for a team in this Toronto-Boston series? Yes, I am rooting for the Boston Celtics. And that's because, Paul Pierce is my favorite player of all time. And I'm also a huge Rajon Rondo fan. However, would I be disappointed if the Toronto Raptors beat the Boston Celtics and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to play Miami? No, I would not. So, let me just say that. Because I think either matchup would be very interesting. Boston won the season series against Toronto, or I'm sorry, not against Toronto, against Miami, 2-1. But Miami won the season series against Toronto, 2-1. But then again, we had a 4-month layoff between the last game in March, which is on like March 11th or something like that, and the beginning of the NBA playoffs in the bubble. Or the NBA return in the bubble, I should say. And the seeding games, and then the playoffs, which are currently happening. The Clippers are winning Game 4 against the Denver Nuggets as we speak by a score of, hold on one sec, 31-14. I'm going to say it now. We are getting the Western Conference Finals. All NBA fans, including myself, desperately want. The Battle of Los Angeles. The LA Lakers against the LA Clippers. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Markieff Morris, Rajon Rondo, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, against Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Ivica Zubac, Marcus Morris. But I did see news the other day that it sounds like the Clippers got the final approval to build their new arena in Inglewood, California. So it sounds like Staples Center is eventually going to only be home to the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Clippers are going to have their own arena. The Clippers are my favorite team in the Western Conference. And that's because when I was a lot younger, I got a tour of Staples Center with my cousin Marv. And I think I got to try on like Elton Brand's practice pants or whatever. And I got a tour of the Clippers locker room. I'm pretty sure I tried on like Corey Maggetti's shoes or something like that. And because of that, I just became a huge Clippers fan. But again, my favorite team in all of basketball and all of sports is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I've been a diehard Cavaliers fan since day one. Even when LeBron James left for those 4 years to go to Miami, I still wanted to go to Cavaliers games all the time, even though we sucked. But I was at the Cavs game when LeBron made his second return to Cleveland, where the Cavaliers somehow, some way, pulled one out of their ass and actually beat Miami with guys like Baron Davis, Jamario Moon, Anthony Parker. Yeah. I don't even remember who else was on that team. We were so bad. I have no idea why we wasted the number one pick on Anthony Bennett. There were so many other guys we could have chosen that could have progressed our future and put us in a better position, but whatever. But back to the Clippers for a second. So like I said, they got the I saw a report from ESPN that they got the final approval to begin construction on their new arena in Inglewood, California, which is where SoFi Stadium is, the home of the LA Rams and the LA Chargers. Chargers should still be in San Diego. It is total bullshit that the Chargers are not in San Diego. Total bullshit. And actually, to a certain extent, it's bullshit that the Rams are not in St. Louis. It is. I'm fine with Los Angeles having a NFL team. But two, that's a little excessive. But again, it's a big market. I understand it. I just hate it when teams move from one city to the other. Because, we didn't feel like we got enough fan support, or I'm the owner and I wanted a new stadium and the city wouldn't give it to me. Come on. Like, to me, that's a little bit petty. But here's the one exception I'll make for that rule, or for that statement, I should say. The Raiders, they needed to get out of the Coliseum. I'm not saying they should have left Oakland. I'm just saying the Raiders needed a new stadium because the Coliseum is just garbage. I've heard so many problems coming out of that stadium. So it's no surprise to me that the Oakland A's, I believe, are on the verge of moving to a new stadium. I've heard reports that they're actually talking about moving to San Jose. Don't know if that is for sure happening, but I've heard that rumor. Or it might be that they're just building a new stadium in a different part of Oakland. I think that's actually it. But let's get back to the main point of this video. That was one of the best playoff games I have ever seen. Holy crap. Toronto 125, Boston 122, there's going to be a Game 7 Friday on TNT with the winner advancing to play the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. With the winner of that series most likely playing either the LA Lakers or the LA Clippers. And despite what happened to Kobe Bryant, which, I still can't fathom that Kobe Bryant passed away. I'm actually getting a little bit teary-eyed just talking about it. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But despite that, I am a Clippers fan, so I'd rather see the Clippers in the NBA Finals. But if it is the Lakers, so be it. As long as the Houston Rockets do not make it to the NBA Finals. Because I'm sorry, but the Houston Rockets, in my opinion, are straight up crybabies. I mean, I go back to 2018 Western Conference Finals Game 7. They're without Chris Paul, right? But what happens? They missed 27 three-pointers. And what do you hear Rockets fans say? Oh, the reason if we had Chris Paul, we would have won that series. Bullshit! You missed 27 three-pointers. Maybe if you made some of those shots, you would have beaten the Warriors. And then you probably would have beaten us in the NBA Finals, and you would have a championship. But no, you couldn't hit the ocean if you were standing right in front of it, Houston. Oh, and why else are the Rockets crybabies? Because they complain about, even the slightest contact if it's not called a foul. Remember in the playoffs last year? They're playing the Warriors in Game 1. James Harden kicks his foot out, and Draymond Green is not called for the foul. And you see James Harden complaining about it. And I'm like, you don't need to complain about everything. You just don't. Play the game. Play through the whistle. Make the refs call that a foul. Make the refs call it a foul. Don't just put yourself in a position where it could be 50-50. Don't do that. If you're going to try and draw a foul, actually try and draw the foul. Don't pull the bullshit up. Oh, I'm going to kick out my leg and see if I can trick the officials. No, you're not Anderson Varejao. Even though Varejao played for the Cavaliers for many, many years, I never liked him. He didn't do anything for the Cavaliers ever. He was just a flopster. All he would do is draw offensive fouls. And some of them weren't actually offensive fouls. Just say. Yeah. But I just can't fathom how good of a basketball game I just watched. Double overtime. Game 6. Your season is on the freaking line. If the Raptors lose, that's the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed eliminated. Not just that. If the Raptors would have lost, that would have meant the defending NBA champions are eliminated. But did the Raptors let that happen? No, they didn't. Because, oh my God, Kyle Lowry he needs to get his jersey retired by the Raptors. Once he eventually retires, he should get a statue outside of Scotiabank Arena. Maybe one of the streets by Scotiabank Arena should be called Kyle Lowry Way. I don't know, but he is the Mr. Raptor. He is the Toronto Raptors. He hit the big shot consistently towards the end of that game. It was unbelievable to watch. It was crazy. So before I go and end this video, I want to ask a question. And I might dive into this in my next video. So we know without a doubt that once LeBron James retires, he's going to get a statue outside of Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. He's going to get his jersey retired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe, like, he'll get a street named after him. The Cavaliers will freaking roll out the red carpet for him. But do you think the Miami Heat will retire LeBron's jersey? Because they already retired Chris Bosh's jersey, and obviously they retired Dwayne Wade's jersey, and they retired Shaq's jersey. So, do you think that the Miami Heat will retire LeBron's jersey? And follow-up question: if he wins a championship in Los Angeles, will the Lakers retire his jersey? So that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, this is Unger to the Max, signing off.